You know what I really want?
What's that?
A pumpkin cream cold brew.
Ooh. I bet that'd be really good right now.
They come out in September. It's almost September.
It's pretty soon.
Yeah.
What month are we in?
We're in July.
July. Okay. And how long do they have them for?
Like, not very long. Like, just until, like, Christmas time.
I think the new Lego Navi set is coming out in September.
Wow.
The first Lego Avatar set.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You're not familiar with the term Navi?
No.
Oh, that's the alien species from Avatar.
Yeah, I haven't seen that movie.
It's good.
Mm-hmm.
We should watch it. It's pretty basic.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you have to watch it on basic bitch mode.
Okay.
But if you take it in just like in that sense, it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
And this I'm excited for the second one.
Mm-hmm.
But the Lego sets I'm honestly more excited for. Than the film.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen these things?
What things?
Did I show you the sets?
Oh yeah, you did. You showed
Navi.
me. Yeah.
Yeah, they look good. Man, my laptop mic. I mean, not my mic. My laptop mouse. It's been getting really greased recently.
Why is it so greasy?
I don't know, cause like it didn't used to get greasy like this. And I'm not being like dirtier than usual. I'm like, pretty clean most of the time. Like, I clean my hands after I eat meals, stuff like that. And before I touch, like, I don't just like touch my mouse with like greasy fingers.
Yeah.
But somehow it gets like greased. I don't know how.
That's gross.
And I have to use wet wipes on it. I have to turn it off because it's wireless.
Mm-hmm.
Turn it off on the back, and then I take a nice wet wipe all around. But I've noticed recently, like, just more and more of the house has been getting greased.
Yeah.
I think we're in a grease-edemic.
Just accept the grease.
No. I'll never accept the grease. I'll always fight it until the day I die.
What do you mean, like, grease?
Like, it's like not... Like, you can't see it with the naked eye. But when you touch something, you feel it on it.
You're making us sound, like, disgusting.
Well, it's gross. Yeah, it doesn't...
Our house isn't that dirty.
Something can look clean, but still be greased. I'm not talking about, like, literal, like slime, like, just covering the thing. It's like a slick, like, texture to it. Like, slicker than it should be. It's very subtle. You kind of have to be, like, aware of your surroundings and, like...
I haven't been doing, like,
using your spidey sense to feel it.
A lot of cleaning recently, because I've been trying to keep the boy inside. We probably talked about this last week, but I've just been, like, laying down. I've been afraid that my water is going to break too early.
The chores and the meals have been slacking hardcore around here. I was, like, starving today for hours. It's like, where's my meal?
I'm so sorry.
Where's dinner? And you're just, like, you're, like, laying on your side. You're just like,
I know. Forrest was texting me. He was like, I'm so hungry. And I was just like, me too. Like, I can't do anything for you right now. Like, damn. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, understandable. You're really...
Just, like, I mean,
really
I feel like I did a lot today for someone who is trying to, like, be on bed rest and, like, lay down most of the time.
Yeah, we don't want the boy popping out too early.
I did 3 loads of laundry. I did, like, 2 loads of towels that we bought for, like, the birth, because we have, like, this list that our midwife gave us for things to, like, have for the birth. And one of the things was, like, 12 towels. So we just, like, bought, like, 12, like, organic cotton towels for the birth. So I washed those today.
Hell yeah.
And then, I just washed another load of, like, normal clothes. So I feel like, pretty accomplished. And I did the dishes. And I made you peanut butter balls.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that was about it. That's all I could manage.
That's probably all that stuff would probably take like I don't know, like a couple hours, an hour and a half.
Yeah, I just did it like throughout the day, like dispersed. Like I would just like, But yeah, I spent most of the day just like laying down, and then we went on like a walk. Yeah,
that was a nice walk.
That was nice, but I was like nervous the whole time.
Why?
That my water would break.
Oh.
I'm like extra. I'm 36 weeks. I just have 1 more week of like worrying.
You gotta get some sunlight. Like,
yeah.
you can't just lay down for a whole week straight. You're gonna get like bed sores.
Yeah. My sister had to lay down for like 3 weeks straight when she was pregnant.
What happened?
They just told her that like her cervix was like effaced or something, which means that it was like already like soft, like getting ready for
Right, so
for
she couldn't even
labor.
move at all.
And yeah, she had to keep her babies in, until it was like an appropriate time.
Which ones?
Both of them.
So she had to lay down for 3 weeks each
I'm pretty sure.
on both pregnancies?
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I guess you could catch up on your stories.
Yeah, I've just been like laying down like on like YouTube and like TikTok and
What about Instagram?
Instagram, and I read Luna like lots of books. She brings me books.
Oh.
And I'll just like read them to her while I lay down, and she snuggles me a lot. She's been really sweet this like whole time that I've just been like a blob on her floor, on the playroom floor.
Yeah. What's her favorite book?
Right now, her favorite book is Leo the Littlest Lion. She asked for that like 10 times.
What's the plot of that book?
Just like Leo, he's a little lion, and he has like 2 sisters, who are also lions, and they play hide and go seek, and he's really good at hiding because he's like little.
Yeah. Heads behind a tree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty simple one.
She has lots of books, but she always brings me that one. Like, I don't know why.
It's a board book in the shape of a lion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got it from Costco.
It's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, check this out.
Oh, wow. Forrest is showing me like a lighter, but it's like a little baby torch.
Yeah. It says special blue on it.
That's cool.
Yeah, picture.
I'm glad you got that instead of using the like big, like clunky lighter.
Yeah, I didn't have like an actual lighter for a while, so I was just lighting up my Delta 8s with like a incense lighter. Or what do you call those things?
Like just like a candle lighter.
I guess it's like a candle lighter. Yeah.
It's like one of those long ones,
Or yeah, where the flame is really far away from you.
Yeah, it's really like clunky
stick.
and awkward to smoke with.
I just have those because I use them to light up my steel wool when I'm doing the visual effects. But honestly, I can't find my steel wool. I was looking all around for it. I'm like, I know I packed it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't throw it away. It's like I feel like it's. I looked all around the studio though, and I couldn't find it anywhere. So I guess I'm gonna have to buy some more.
Man,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunate.
I know. I wish I could figure out where it was.
We were on like a mad hunt for some like outlet covers today too.
Oh yeah, that was stressful.
We found some.
I was about to give up hope.
I was like about to place like an online like Target delivery order to like have them mail it or have someone bring us some.
So we bought a big pack of them, and I know we still have a huge pack somewhere. Our house isn't that big, and it's not messy. Like, everything's pretty much where it should be.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I really don't know where they went.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But yeah, we managed to find like
what we needed.
One that we needed, yeah. Because I'll like, plug my laptop in and work upstairs. But when I leave, I want to cover the outlet back up.
Because Luna will stick her little finger
She'll try to stick her fingers in there.
in the outlet.
But then, what do you know? The outlet cover that I placed in my pocket just up and goes missing. And I'm like, where is this outlet cover? And I was throwing over toy bins.
He dumped out all of Luna's toy bins because he was like, I know there's some in here.
Yeah, I've seen them in there before.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I found one. Where was it? You found one. You're the one who found it, actually. Remember?
Really?
Well, I thought you were, or maybe I'm thinking of some other time.
I feel like.
No, I found it. You found my phone the other day.
Oh yeah, we were looking for Forrest's phone, and we were like looking all over the house.
Mm-hmm.
Like stressing out about it, and it was in Luna's like little.
It wouldn't have been like
stroller.
stressful, but it was just like Luna had just gone to bed, so we were trying to be quiet and look for it.
Yeah.
And we don't want to wake her
and
up.
we were also thinking it could have possibly been in Luna's bedroom.
Yeah.
And we were like trying to avoid opening the door and going in there. Like at all, like that would have been like a last resort.
I like needed it for something. I was like trying to do something on it.
And then like it was just in Luna's, like she has like a doll stroller, like a stroller for her dolls, and it was sitting in, and it has a little basket at the bottom for like storage, like what things like Luna stores, and she needs a little basket for, and it was in there. I saw it. I wasn't even looking there. I just like saw kind of like the reflection or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh my god, like there it is.
Yeah, she had placed it in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, she like loads up her little basket and like drives around, like pushes it.
Mhm.
It's cute.
With her babies.
Yeah, with her babies.
I'm gonna get her like a baby carrier, like a body carrier.
Yeah.
For her dolls, so when I'm like wearing River, she can wear her doll. So she feels cute. Like included.
You should also order a potty because we gotta start potty training her.
That's like a lot for right now.
Hey.
We're like about to have a baby. This is like a big change for her.
I know, she needs an activity, something to keep her interested.
Like I heard that you shouldn't really potty train a kid, or you should try to like
ever.
No, like just like when there's like big changes happening, like if we were moving or a new baby, like something like that.
Who said that?
The internet.
Okay.
Because potty training is already like a really big change. Like transitioning from diapers to the potty.
I don't necessarily want to transition her. I'm just trying to get her used to, just introduce the idea because she sees us go to the bathroom.
I just don't know
she had her own little toilet.
Knows like what we're doing when we're sitting on the toilet.
You might be right.
Like I just think she kind of thinks
like she's pretty smart.
Oh, like we're just sitting here.
I'll tell her to like go pick me out a pair of shoes, and she'll go and grab a pair of shoes and bring them to me. Mm-hmm. Or like I'll tell her to get me a book, and she'll like get me a book. Mm-hmm. I don't know. She's pretty.
Yeah, she is smart.
And like she knows like what poo-poo smells like.
What do you mean?
So like when I'm taking a big fat stinky dump and she smells it, she's got to know like what I'm doing in there. How could you not?
It's so funny because like Luna smells all of our gross smells all the time, but like it's like she doesn't react at all.
Yeah.
Like it's like she just like doesn't even notice.
Yeah.
I wonder like what she's thinking.
She always tries to hang out with me in the bathroom. Like I'll be taking a dump or whatever, and she'll like be like knocking on the door and stuff. Mm-hmm. It's so funny. I know. Like whenever I'm pooping, she like brings me books to like read. Yeah, she'll like bring me stuff, like toys, and give them to me. It's so funny. She's so cute. She's literally like the sweetest ever. Yeah, we're about to get another sweet one here pretty soon. I know. Any day now. Not any day now. We have to at least a week. Yeah, we're trying to push it. I'm trying to keep him in. Trying to keep that sucker in. Yeah, I'm gonna try to finish my fight scene video, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it in 10 days. Yeah. I want to get it out on the 15th, but there's still a lot to do on it. I'm gonna get some animation done tonight. Mm-hmm. Alyssa maybe peanut butter balls. I got my Delta 8. I think I'm like set to like really like have a productive evening. That's good. By evening, I mean the hours between 3 and 7 a.m. Mm-hmm. Those are my like grind hours. Mm-hmm. After Alyssa goes to bed. But we got to record the podcast. Most women like don't have this problem. Like most women like want their babies to come out, like, and like their babies want to stay in. But like I don't know. Luna came out really fast. I know. At like 37 weeks and 5 days. And this is like that was my very first pregnancy. And your first one is like typically the longest one. So right. Exactly. That's why I'm like really desperately trying to keep River. That's why it's important we keep him in, because if we keep him in for one more week, then we're allowed to legally to have a home birth. I don't necessarily know if it's like the law here, like it is in like California. In California, it's the law, right? Yeah. It's 37 weeks. Yeah. Yeah. But like I don't know if it's the law
in Missouri, but
In
it's
Missouri, they let you do pretty much whatever.
yeah, but like it would just be kind of risky for River's health.
Yeah. Our midwife isn't comfortable like delivering a baby before 37 weeks.
Yeah. She said like she would consider it if like it was like 36 weeks and like 6 days, like, you know, like on the very verge of like 37.
Sure.
But like, yeah.
We're pretty much on the verge of 37 right now.
Yeah, just like
7 days.
just like, yeah. Just gotta like lay down and be low key for like 7 more days.
Yeah, and we wouldn't want our midwife to do anything she's uncomfortable with, or she's the expert, so if she thinks that's a good cutoff, then that's what we'll, you know, accept. We don't want to go to the hospital.
No, absolutely not.
But if we have to, we will, obviously.
No, don't manifest that.
I'm not manifesting it. I'm just saying like, what would happen.
I'm gonna just lay down and my water's not gonna break.
I'm just saying, you know, we got to be prepared for anything and everything.
Man. And that's another thing is like, it's crazy kind of like preparing for this home birth, you know, doing the laundry, like washing the towels and stuff, and like buying all of this like stuff, because I feel like we never really got to this stage with Luna. Because I was thinking like, oh, like I'm gonna be pregnant until like, because everyone told me that, you know, first time moms usually go past their due dates.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking like, oh, like I'm gonna give birth like mid-December, like maybe she might even stay until Christmas, like I have time, dude. And like, no, like she was like, she came out like on Thanksgiving, and like I was not expecting that at all. And so yeah, like when like, you know, my midwife got here, like we kind of just like, she brought stuff, and like we did have like a lot of the stuff that we needed, but yeah, I just felt like so unprepared, because I was like, I had time.
I mean, you didn't have everything you wanted prepared, but we were like prepared in every other sense.
It worked out. Like it wasn't like,
yeah, you just didn't have like specific like ideas all fully completed.
Yeah,
but we had everything we needed, and we were like, you know, physically prepared to have.
Well, yeah, but I just feel like way more prepared this time.
Sure, yeah.
Like, cause I got to like pick out everything like that I wanted like for the birth, and like, you know, like wash it all like in advance, and you know, stuff like that. And like, yeah, like at the time, like
prep work, pre-production.
And like, this is like stupid, but like I was like, I just felt like our apartment was like dirty like at the time, like when I gave birth to Luna, like, you know what I mean, like I didn't like have time to like clean it like before like he came. I mean, she
the
came
apartment
out.
was so small compared to our new house.
Yeah.
Like, wow, we barely had any space in there.
We had no space like at all.
We had like the living room and like the 2 bedrooms.
Yeah, and like the 1 bedroom was your studio.
Yeah.
It's like your entire studio.
So we were just always there.
And then
unless we like went out, you know. Well, we went on walks a lot.
Yeah.
We went to the park sometimes. Like once or twice a week. But
I'm so glad we moved.
Kind of felt like a prison moving to me.
Oh, yeah. I always felt like that, because like there was no like outside area. Like that was like just kind of like safe and like away from like, you know, cars and like people and
it
stuff.
Wasn't like, it wasn't that bad. Like other parts of LA are like really bad.
Like I have this like one memory of like when Luna was like 5 or 6 months. Like if I wanted to take Luna on a walk, this was another thing is like
whenever Alyssa went out alone, like she'd get harassed.
Yeah.
Like there'd be people like catcalling her and stuff.
I don't know if like I got catcalled, but like I would just like, people would like talk to me.
They call you Hoochie Mama.
Like, try to pick you up.
Yeah.
But I remember one time when Luna was like 5 or 6 months old, I like went outside with her, and like I didn't have her in the stroller, because that's another thing is like we had to walk downstairs to get outside, like a whole like flight of stairs, and like I
just 1 way flight
was like had like a really hard time. Like I literally like I couldn't really. I wasn't strong enough to carry like Luna and the stroller like down these stairs.
Yeah.
That was like a constant problem, and like that made me feel really trapped. Like I felt like if Forrest wasn't home, like I couldn't leave the house basically. Right. And like I remember one time I just like was holding Luna. I just like held her and like wanted to just like go on a little walk outside, and like some lady was like walking her dog, like this like huge like pit bull like type looking dog, like really strong, like and he was like running at us, and she like couldn't keep she had him on a leash, but like he was way stronger than her. And like she was like trying to like hold him back and stuff. Like she was really struggling like with this dog, and like he kind of just like came up and like sniffed us or whatever, but he was like barking really loud. He was like running and barking at us, and it was like really, and I just like got scared and just like went back inside.
Gosh.
I
remember that. You told me about that.
Like I just always there was just like always stuff like that, or like we would like go outside and then like a homeless person would like harass us, and like it was just like always a thing.
I mean, none of the homeless people were like mean or anything.
I mean, they weren't like mean, but it's also just kind of like, you know, I'm not always trying to have like a conversation.
Yeah, right.
Like I just want to take my baby outside on like a walk.
Yeah, right.
Like so yeah, like I just like I thinking about LA, I'm just like, I'm so glad we live in St. Louis.
Oh, dude, so much better.
We just went on like a nice little walk around our neighborhood, and like we have this big like front yard, and like Luna can like play and stuff and like run around.
Well, yeah, it's idyllic.
It's amazing.
Looks like I don't know, like it looks like something out of a picture book. Mm-hmm. Like Walt Disney grew up here or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also like I feel like when you just have a baby, like especially as a first time mom, like I had really bad like postpartum like anxiety. Like I didn't really get like postpartum depression very hard, but I had like really bad anxiety. And I think like like living in LA just made that like way worse, or like intensified it like way more, because it's already kind of like a high like stress environment. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's not like relaxing or like
especially
chill
for a country girl like you,
or mellow. Yeah, I'm not from like the city or anything.
She's from the country.
Yeah, I'm like from like
they do things a little bit different down there.
And then like
bang,
so yeah, I feel like that made it worse too, just like being like a new mom, and like so yeah, it made everything feel really like exaggerated. Like I'm trying to like protect my baby from everything, and like all this like stuff just felt like out of my control and stuff.
It's true. Most things are out of your control, like 99.9%.
Yeah.
We just do things where, you know, we have the illusion of control. Mm-hmm. But like actually we have almost zero.
Yeah, we don't even have free will. Yeah. So we don't even really control what we think we control.
Like like try stopping yourself from doing something you want to do.
That's the thing too. It's like
why would you want to do it? But do you want to do it?
Like,
or is it just an idea that someone else is having that you're just like helpless to?
Yeah, exactly. And it's like also like you don't even really like control how you think. Mm-mm. Or like your opinions about things.
You observe things and then make up your mind about them.
Like once you like, I mean, you can like learn new information, but you have to, and like you can, you know, be willing to accept new information, and
you can have your mind changed
and change. Yeah, exactly.
But you can't decide to change your mind.
No, exactly. Like once, yeah, exactly. Like once you like learn something new and it does change your mind, like it's just like now your mind has changed. You had no part in deciding that.
Exactly.
Like.
Yeah, you can, you know, try to make different decisions, but like who's really in the driver's seat?
It's like your thoughts, like
literally.
And you don't even think your thoughts, like
your thoughts think you.
Yeah, literally. like you're like you think like how your heart like pumps blood. Right. Like you have no voluntary like.
It's just a mechanism for staying alive. And reproducing.
Yeah, exactly. We have to like make sense of our environment to like survive, and then like so that's what thinking is for.
Man, should we have our debate? Our long-awaited debate about this topic?
About what? About
universal truth?
Okay, like, I was once prepared to have this debate, but it's been, like, kind of, like, a while since I thought about it.
Alyssa and I, we've been, having this debate for months. And she refuses to, like, understand my position.
I just, like, I feel like, okay, we should have the debate. Why don't you explain yourself?
Well, I'm just saying, like, there is no universal truth. There's no way you can prove that something truly exists. We're all just perceiving events and the things in front of us. But there's no way to prove that it exists outside of your own experience. So therefore, universal truth does not exist. At least in the way of us being able to perceive it.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts?
Okay, so even if we can't perceive the truth, or we can't really prove that that's the truth,
Mm-hmm.
just because we can't prove it, it doesn't mean that something isn't true because we can't prove it. Like, things can be true, like, without us, like, thinking about it, or without us being here to think about it and to, like, think.
It's the difference between, like, faith and not faith. The absence of faith.
Okay, but it's like it's like
you can believe something to be true, but how would you actually know?
I agree with you that, we can't really know. Like,
Okay, I think we agree then. All right, debate over.
But I'm just taking it a step further by saying, like, just because we can't know for sure doesn't mean that it's, like, there's not, like, an actual truth. Like, just because we can't know the truth for sure doesn't mean that it doesn't exist.
But, like, who defines the truth?
Nobody.
Well, humans try to all the time.
We try to, but that doesn't, like, okay, so
We're obsessed with the truth. But the truth is really just what we all agree on.
Okay, but babe, I see what you're saying. But, okay, so say that, like, okay. Let's just say, for the sake of this argument, that Earth exists, and that's true.
Might not be true to some people.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, for the sake of this argument, okay?
Okay.
Or for the sake of what I'm about to say.
I don't know how that'd be possible.
Okay, listen. Not for the sake of, but just for what I'm about to say. Say that Earth exists, and all humans, all life, like, disappeared or died. Just because, like, nobody is here to think or to perceive or to believe anything, like, to believe that the Earth, like, is here or isn't here, that doesn't mean that the Earth is still here.
How do you know?
I'm just saying, like, for the sake
If
of my
everyone's
argument.
dead, then how would you know the Earth is still there?
And, like, it's just, like, there is...
How do you know there aren't billions of Earths that exist outside of our time-space reality?
I'm just saying,
There
like...
probably are, but if there's no one there, then what's the point?
Okay, but, like, I'm just saying that's, like, just because we can't know the truth doesn't mean that the truth doesn't exist.
It might as well not exist if there's no one around to perceive it.
But it still does exist, right?
It depends
Even
on
if
what you mean by existing.
That's all I'm saying. Like, all I'm saying...
I see where you're trying to get to, but, like, you have to figure out how we define existence. We define existence by observation. If there's no one to observe, there's nothing to exist. There's no play within an audience.
And then, like... But it would still... But that's not true. That's not true, honey. Like, if... Like, a play would still... Like, the play could still go on if it didn't have an audience.
No, it would be like a rehearsal. That wouldn't be a play. Just like a universe wouldn't be a universe without those to perceive it.
Okay, listen. So, in the past, everyone thought that like the Earth was like the center of the universe, right? Or like the center,
Yeah.
Um,
Then we
and
realized we're just one of billions of galaxies.
but at the time, everybody thought that
billions
was
of planets.
true. That the Earth was the center of the universe, and like we were, like special or whatever.
Yeah. Right.
Everybody thought that was true. So but those people, even though they didn't know, and they thought something else was true,
there is.
It
was still going on the way we know it today.
Yeah.
Right.
So that was the truth.
Right.
So that, like, everybody's like, even though everyone perceived the truth as like, different than the actual truth, there was actually the truth, and they were wrong.
We know that now. And we can agree on that now. But that doesn't make it universally true for everyone. Because some people will say that the Earth, is the center and God made it in 7 days and yada, yada, yada.
But just because they say that doesn't mean that they're right. They're wrong.
But just because we say what we say doesn't make us right either.
Okay, but so.
Sure, we can prove it with, numbers and stats and scientific, methods. But at the end of the day, it's just two human beings discussing their existence. And no human being has like more say over the other, or has more knowledge over the other than the knowledge that they perceive to be true.
But okay, but like, you're not understanding me. Like, it doesn't matter what people think. The only way we would be able to truth. Okay, no. So say you're totally right, and like we're wrong right now about like the sun being the center, or whatever. Right. Like that could totally be true, but that is untrue because something else is true.
I think there is universal truth. I just don't think the humans can perceive it the way we are right now. Because in order to perceive like true universal truth, we'd have to be like fifth dimensional beings or something.
But I agree like with you on like mostly with that. But there is just some things that we can tell are true.
Right. Like that we can tell.
But that like everyone can.
But not everyone.
But okay, so my example that I always use when we argue about this is, okay, what if I was just like, I'm gonna go on the roof and I'm gonna jump off and because I can fly. Like, babe, like I can fly.
Some people think that for real.
Honey, like I can fly, like I'm gonna go jump off the roof. And then would you be like, oh, okay, like, because that's true for you because you really believe it. So just go do that, honey. And then like I go do that and then I fall off the roof and, break a bone or die or something.
I don't want to crush your dreams.
So when I hit the ground instead of fly, that I'm being hit with like truth, with like reality. Like, even though I believe in my head that I can fly, right? I am, my belief is being crushed when I hit the ground.
But like, if you're not around to perceive it, then who would perceive it? The other people. If you die, on impact or whatever, then you would die just thinking that you could, that you were going to be fine. Like, we perceive that you died.
But I was wrong. But do you perceive that?
We perceive that you're
honey,
wrong.
Like, I just, like, but I was wrong. Like, right. And then also.
That's all agreed upon.
And it's not agreed upon. It's just true. Nobody, that's the thing. Like, I just don't think, like, you're getting that. It's like nobody has to think about it in order for it to just be true.
Some people do, though. Some people
that I won't fly if I jump off off a roof. Like, nobody has to think about it.
Most people would agree.
Everybody else could also be convinced that I'm gonna fly when I jump off the roof. Like everybody, like I could just be some crazy cult leader, and I just convinced all my followers that like I'm gonna fly.
Right.
And then like everyone around me, like they're all standing around gonna watch this like event.
Midsummer too.
Yeah, they're all gonna like watch this like event.
Uh-huh.
Like, oh, Alyssa, our cult leader, is gonna jump off the roof and fly. And then just because they all think that doesn't mean that it's true.
It's true to them though.
But it's not, because when I fall off the roof and fall to the ground, they're gonna be like, oh. Like,
not necessarily.
That's not true.
They might just like not even acknowledge your body and just pretend like you flew off into the sky. Like, wow, look at her go.
But just because they didn't acknowledge my body doesn't mean that I didn't fall. Like, do you see what I mean? Like, I just don't like.
I don't know. According to who?
What?
According to you, right?
According to, like, this is the thing. Is like, it doesn't matter who it's according to.
It does. That's the only thing that matters.
It happened.
According to what? The evidence?
Okay, like, what
that's
if
observed by people?
And then, like,
people write history. Whatever happened is what history is written.
But no, that's not true. That's why you shouldn't trust things, because like it doesn't matter.
Trust things. But you're telling me that like something happened, so you're telling me to trust you.
But it doesn't. Okay, like about like the history books or whatever, like if history books are like written and like they are documenting like things like wrong, like they're falsifying events, like that doesn't mean
they're
that
just adding artistic flourish.
That doesn't mean that like those events actually happened.
Like the Bible.
Yeah.
Like none of that shit actually happened.
Yeah, but
people believe it anyway.
But those people would be wrong.
Well,
why are those?
I think they're wrong, but they think they're right.
Okay, but why do you think they're wrong if they can be right? Like what? Like do you get like what?
I think they're wrong, but they think they're right, and I'm not smarter or better, or maybe I'm smarter, but I'm not better, and I'm not. My word has no more value than any other person's. It has less than some whose word is praised. It is followed by more people. Like, Joel Osteen or something, right? He's got like millions of followers who hang on his every word. So it's like, how do you really judge like truth?
I'm just saying that no matter what people believe.
Yeah. There is
a
truth
something
out there.
That is true. And that is what I would say.
Possibly.
That is what I would call universal truth. And that's why I think universal truth exists. And
it doesn't exist for human beings.
And I think that we should always be like striving to find like the actual truth. I think that is like a good, base for morality, or like, you're like, if you're going to have.
But you can't find it because you can't perceive it.
Okay, maybe you can't find it, but that doesn't mean that it's not real.
Yeah, it could be real, but if we can't find it, what's the point?
Like that's why I say like I'm like agnostic or whatever, because like right. I can't prove to you that like a God doesn't exist.
Right.
But I also can't prove that one does exist. Like, so that's why I say like.
I think atheist is someone who believes there's no God. I don't know if they claim to prove that there's no God.
I don't like it when a lot of atheists will say that like agnostic is just a term for like an atheist who's like too scared to like
you pussy
commit to being like a full atheist, or like too scared of like
look, we got a pussy agnostic over here.
Yeah, exactly. Like too scared to like fully commit to like the social stigma like associated with being an atheist.
She doesn't want to accept the social stigma, boys. Let's teach her a lesson.
But like I genuinely like I'm just an agnostic because like I'm just like humble. I feel like
there is no God.
Like I'm not gonna sit up here and say like everyone like there's no God, and like I'm also not gonna say like there is one. Like I don't know.
No, there very well could be. Like you can't write it off.
Yeah.
It's definitely not the Christian Judeo God.
Yeah, I mean
like 99.99999% sure it's not. I'd be very surprised.
I almost feel like atheism is like if you're like a full hardcore atheist, like that's almost like just like a new like religion. Like, you know what I mean?
I don't really understand what they do. They just talk shit on like theists all day. What is their doctrine?
I mean, I really like a few people who are like atheists, and like they just talk about like Sam Harris's whole thing is like meditation and kind of like finding like spirituality like without religion, like without like believing in anything like supernatural.
So would you call him like an atheist pastor?
Yeah, like almost.
Almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
In a
he
sense.
gives like speeches at like atheist conventions, and he talks about like you guys should go listen to his one thing on YouTube. It's called like Death and the Present Moment, and it's a really good like speech just about like, you know, like death and basically just accepting it, like accept, because that's the thing is like religions are kind of always like running away from death, and like they think like, oh, we're gonna get to heaven or we're gonna get to, you know, whatever other place that like religious people think they go when they die.
I know.
And like if you're like an atheist,
Newsflash, you're dead.
if you're an atheist or like an agnostic, like you kind of are just like accepting that it's very possible that, you know, you're just gonna die like when you're dead. And so like, yeah, that.
Do you think every like ant that gets crushed or every spider also goes to heaven? You'd have to be like a freaking Fruit Loop to think that.
I think most religious people think like humans are like special.
But like dogs don't go to heaven?
No.
That's like really messed up.
I think some
dogs have like just as much emotion as humans.
Some religious people probably, no, that's definitely not true, babe.
Well, yeah, they do.
No.
Of course they do.
Some religious people think they go to heaven, but some don't.
You don't think dogs have as much emotion as humans?
No, absolutely not.
They have so much love in their hearts, baby.
Look, I like dogs.
They're
like,
special.
I know that they have emotions, but I don't think they have emotions like the same way that humans do.
I didn't say it was like the same way. I just said that.
You said as much.
As much. They feel a lot.
No, that's crazy.
They don't feel less than us.
What?
I think like spiders and like insects might feel less. I don't know. I don't really know them that well. But you can tell like when you look into a dog's eyes, like he's got a soul. And like he's got big boy feelings. He's got big boy attitude. Like he's basically a human just trapped in a dog body. And not very bright. But cute and lovable. But I think they're like same with like cows and like horses. Like they're like amazing creatures.
Yeah, they're like amazing.
They have lots of personality and spunk. Like way more than some humans.
Okay.
You ever see like a monkey at the zoo?
Well, I feel like monkeys are almost like different.
They're basically humans, right? Yeah.
But dogs and cats like aren't, like, I don't know. I've just like not been like into like dog and cat people recently.
Well, don't worry about the people.
I literally saw like a TikTok like earlier today or like yesterday, and it was like this girl was talking about her like really horrible experience. Like her apartment caught on fire or something, and she like woke up to like her whole apartment was like engulfed in smoke or whatever.
That's so scary. What happened?
I don't know. I just saw like a very,
It's like my worst fear.
yeah, and like she, you know, escaped, she survived or whatever, but like she had to leave her cat behind to like, you know, save herself or whatever. And like people in the comments are fucking crazy. People were like, I would have died to save my cat, or I'm gonna like if I was in that situation, like I would definitely grab my cat. And like she was basically talking about, she was like, you know, like you think you know like what it's like to be in a situation like that, like until you're actually in a situation like that. And she was like, yeah, like I'm not like, there's like no, like you literally can't even like see, like there's like no time to like look around like hunting for like your cat.
You're like inhaling like smoke.
Yeah, it's like, you know, it's like she didn't want to like leave her cat obviously, but
there's
it's
no
like
oxygen in the air.
Yeah, she was just like, I had to get out. And I think she even said like a firefighter came in and like rescued her and like, you know, like grabbed her and like
People think this is like a Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, and it
Run
like
inside a burning
she said,
building
like she was just like, yeah, you
wearing no
don't know what it's
protection.
like. You're just like, you know, like you just feel like helpless, like powerless, like panic or whatever. And yeah, people are like, well, I would die to make sure my cat escaped.
Cat dies
So
2 years later.
that's just kind of how I feel like about like when people say like, oh, like cats and dogs, like they are the same as humans. It's like, no, they're not.
Well, obviously they're not the same. I think they have the same emotion.
Yeah.
Like they feel love and sadness and
Or like when people are like,
all the emotions.
like I'm a cat
They're not
mom,
as complex.
or like it's Mother's Day, like I'm a cat mom, or like I'm a dog mom. It's
yeah,
like
that's
so
annoying.
cringy.
Well, don't worry about the people. People are always gonna be cringy.
But it's like, why is that cringy? Like that's cringy because like cats and dogs like aren't the same as like people or like children.
I never said they're the same as children. I said they have big emotions
Okay.
that rival that of humans. Have you seen some people? Some people are literally just like brain dead.
You think they rival that of humans?
Yeah.
So you think they're like better than humans?
I don't think they're better.
What?
I think they have a lot of like feelings and stuff.
Okay.
Like a dolphin. Dolphins have whole like societies. They like
Dolphins are like scary. Dolphins like rape each other
and they rape each other and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, they're brutal. They have wars. It's just fucked up. People think humans are fucked up, but the animal kingdom is just as fucked up, if not even more.
Oh man, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Yeah, monkeys have whole like wars, like really bloody, horrible, like fucked up, like because they don't have like guns, you know, so they literally like tear each other apart. It's like fucked.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
It sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Poor monkeys.
Uh-huh.
They're having a hard time sometimes. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. We're just humans too, and like we're not special, you know. Like we're just like any other animal, and like when we die, and like that's it. Like duh.
I mean, yeah, I think like humans
Don't overcomplicate it.
Humans are special, just like in the sense of like, because I'm a human, so I like think
right.
my
I value
species,
humans more, and I
Yeah.
would say a human from a burning building over a cat, obviously, but. And what I'm saying, like objectively, there's no difference.
Yeah.
We're all the same, just creatures living on Earth.
Yeah, well, humans are really smart, like in ways of like
we're self-aware.
Like, and we can like create things.
We can use complex tools and agriculture.
That's one thing that's cool about like, learning about all this stuff is that like humans are.
We can start podcasts.
Yeah. Humans are like carry mammals.
Separates us.
Which is like kangaroos are carry mammals, so they have like a pouch for their babies, which means like carry mammals are a mammal. There's like nesting animals and then like carry animals for like when you're having like babies and stuff. And like some animals, will like just like nest or like make a nest for their babies and just like periodically return to feed them. And like they have like their milk has like really high like fat and protein content to like satiate the baby for like a long period of time. But like humans and like kangaroos are carry mammals, so like our breast milk like doesn't, so that basically just means like our babies need to be with us at all times, and we need to be feeding them like constantly basically. And so kangaroos have a pouch, but like someone will be like, oh, like why don't humans have pouches? It's because like we evolved to be like really smart to kind of like make our own pouches like out of material, like you know what I mean, and like
right.
And like that's what we have done with like baby carriers and like baby wearing devices and stuff.
Yeah, it's funny how evolution like tries new things out, sees what'll work.
Mm-hmm.
Like the X-Men. No. Like what's the you ever see the original X-Men, the first movie?
No.
It was like probably like one of the earliest superhero movies, and it starts out Professor Xavier's doing a narration. There's like CGI render of the inside of synapses firing inside the mind, and it's like the human race has been on Earth for 200, million year or however long, 200,000 years or whatever. And, we've been evolving, but every so often evolution takes a leap forward. And it like shows that all these mutants have just started popping up because evolution decided to start giving people superpowers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's going to happen.
No.
It's way too cool.
So, with this whole, universal truth thing, everybody, there's, a bunch of different religions, right?
Yeah.
And they all think that they're right.
Yeah.
So, do you think that they're all right and, all these, religions just, exist all at once?
No. I don't think that. No.
Why?
Because I have my own beliefs and thoughts.
Why do you have your own beliefs and thoughts?
Because of the experiences I've had.
Okay, but saying that universal truth doesn't exist is kind of saying that universal truth does exist.
Why?
Because you're saying something very concrete. You're universal truth does not exist.
Yeah, it doesn't.
So that's
it doesn't,
concrete. So you think that's the truth?
All I can do is tell you things that I believe are true. But that's just it. I believe, not that are, and that's where people get the confusingness in.
But why?
Because people
why
get so.
Why do you believe?
It's a really slippery slope to start ascribing, your own personal beliefs onto the world as if they're fact. That's a big problem the world has. Is people are so confident that they're right, and so confident that their visions aren't their own, and that they're a gift or a sign from some higher power, some higher deity, that they are drawn to do terrible things in that name. It allows people to not accept personal responsibility for their belief structure. They can say, "Oh, I only believe it because it's the right thing, because God told me to."
But what if you're not religious and you're not using God?
Right.
Like I am.
I think you have beliefs. It's just about separating that concept, that idea of what you believe to what actually is the truth. You have to take personal responsibility. That's the difference.
Okay, well, what if I do take personal responsibility and I'm just this is true? From what I observe, this is true.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. I think we pretty much agree.
But just because...
Argument resolved.
But you just, really want to, say that, universal truth doesn't exist. Even though, you said that it does.
I think it might. But it doesn't really... It's kind of irrelevant because we can't perceive it.
I mean, it's not...
It's sure, there might be a flying spaghetti monster somewhere, but it's irrelevant because we can't perceive that. Anything's possible. But right now, all we have is the observations of individuals.
I just think, the truth sets you free. Knowledge is power.
Yeah.
So, once you learn something new, you have gained more power. If, once you, some more, a truth has been revealed to you, or you figured something out.
Not always, though. Sometimes the truth can be revealed to you, and it's less power.
No.
Yeah, the homeless crack addict who has a vision of Satan. He thinks that's true, and Satan tells him to go do some horrible shit. That's not good. That's and then he gets locked up. He gets put in prison for it. He's having schizophrenic episodes.
But
that's not power.
But but that's not true. Satan didn't come.
But he thinks it's true. That's the whole point I'm trying to make.
But if he ever recovers and like, you know, starts
No,
to
he's
see
toast.
like, and
His brain is mush.
stops having like schizophrenic episodes.
Yeah.
That is power. Like, then he can actually like have a grasp on like reality and be like, oh, that was fucking crazy. Like, I'm schizophrenic. That wasn't Satan. That was just my brain.
Right.
That's power.
Yeah.
Or like, you know, like say, I don't know, like you.
That will bring him in line with the, you know, the majority rule.
But
or
it's
the majority thought. And then that will give him power, yeah.
okay, well, this is like a smaller scale example. Say like your like spouse is like cheating on you and has been hiding it from you.
You got anything to admit to me?
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Babe, if you ever cheat on me, you're done.
But if I didn't, say I cheated on you and then I just never told you, does that just mean like I didn't cheat on you? Like, no.
No, I still got the herpes from it.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, so it's like, but so when you find out that I cheated on you, or like whatever, like if someone were to find out that their spouse cheated on them, they have gained power because now they know like the truth and they can like do something about it, or like they can confront the situation.
Right. I'm not arguing with any of that.
But like, so that means that like there is like truth.
I don't think you're just not grasping what I'm trying to say.
Like, I just really like, I just can't figure. Yeah, I'm not.
You don't understand.
It's
feel
so
like
deep. It's
I
way
feel like
too
I'm not
deep.
doing a good job explaining it.
It's way too deep. You're just like so incredibly nuanced and deep that I
It's a
can't
little bit
figure
deep,
out
yeah.
what you're trying to say.
Kind of smarty pants. No, I honestly, I don't even know what I'm trying to say anymore. I'm just, you know, having stray thoughts and observations that I like to, you know, dump on you. So thanks for listening to me with my, you know, philosophy, my potential philosophy that I've been developing over my life.
I mean, it's not like, is it really your potential philosophy? I feel like a lot of people think stuff like this.
I don't know. I've never really read anything about it.
I think it's like,
I don't read like papers about philosophy and shit. I just like think of shit and like I mostly just look at Batman memes and stuff, and like I've read like some books, but like but not on philosophy, just like all fiction books. So like I know these things have, you know, been discussed in great detail and been debated for centuries. I'm just not, you know, like privy to those debates or anything. These are all just kind of ideas that I've had, and like they line up with certain teachings and stuff. But it's just kind of I read a little bit about universal truth recently because we were like we were arguing about it, and I found like a really good quote about it that I felt like very succinctly explained like my philosophy. So someone else, like, you know, has these same views, I guess. But I forgot what the quote was. I should have wrote it down or something. I think I showed it to you at the time. No scratch, babe. Alyssa's been scratching herself with her fingernails. Her hands are like really dry. They've got like dermatitis or something.
I don't think it's dermatitis. Ever since I got pregnant, I've been having like really like insane like eczema on my hands and wrists, and it's like really itchy.
Yeah, she's just always trying to itch it.
And Forrest has to remind me not to itch it.
No itch. If you itch, you get ditched.
I'm excited. I think hopefully after I give birth, I'll stop being itchy.
Yeah, you had this last time, and then after you gave birth.
It wasn't nearly as bad. Last time it was like a little baby patch.
I think your hormones are just all thrown out of whack, especially because it's a boy.
Yeah.
His hormones are like interacting with your hormones like weird or something.
Yeah.
Like it was easier last time because it was a girl. It's like you guys were the same.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know if that has any scientific like backing. It's just like
no, I think it definitely does have scientific backing.
A random idea.
This pregnancy was like a lot different than my pregnancy with Luna.
Yeah, and there's different, you know, wives' tales about girl pregnancies versus boy pregnancies. So yeah, there's definitely like considerable differences that could be studied scientifically, and I'm sure they are to some degree. But yep, you know. When the train comes down to the station, You got to make sure to wear your good straw hat and give the conductor his due.
Sometimes Forrest says things, and I feel like I'm having like a stroke, or I'm on like mushrooms or something.
Yep. Sometimes you got to just hop on the old pick-a-willy whistle and blim blam over to the flim flam and shake it out and put it down and pick it up and swing it around. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's no humbug. That's the God's honest truth.
The truth.
Yeah, the God's honest truth. See, that's another way of gaslighting people into believing you're right.
The God's honest truth.
Yeah, just like trying to like, or gaslighting yourself more like it.
Yeah.
Just like admit that you're like experiencing the world and that not everything you see is some divine vision. It's just literally your brain cells firing, telling you what to think. Like, there's this really interesting TED Talk where this guy like literally detailed how like we don't even like see things properly. Our like minds just use our eyes and the light receptors in them to like intuit what's happening in our world. And that's why we think we see things sometimes that aren't really there. It's because like our mind's like building out our reality like in front of us.
Yeah.
Actively.
Yeah, I listened to this podcast that was like kind of similar to that. It was like impact theory, like this guy named Donald Hoffman.
Yeah.
And I think he said that he started his like career like studying like eyes, like he wanted to be like an eye doctor or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of like learned like while he was studying for that like, yeah, like your eyes like don't even see reality.
Right.
And I think like him and his like
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and he eventually like moved on to kind of more like bigger things and just kind of like the structure of like eyes, I guess. And like him and his kind of like team made this like algorithm to try to like test their theory that like you don't even need, we're not even really seeing like what is real. Like evolution like doesn't need us to know like what is really going on or like what we're really seeing to survive. And actually like I think he even said that like this algorithm, this like game theory algorithm that he made, like it actually proved that like you see it, like you're almost like better off like if you don't know what's really going on.
Right.
Like
you don't need to know everything.
Yeah. And so it's like, you know, it's like when we look at like the moon or something, it's like we are seeing like something is there, but it's like we're not like seeing it for like what it really is. Like it's kind of crazy to think about. It's really
it's just
interesting.
the way we perceive it. That's what I'm saying. Like there's no universal truth.
But like,
it's like how can one thing be agreed on how it's perceived?
But I can see what you mean. Like I agree with that. But just because we don't know and like we can't register it doesn't mean that there's not something.
I feel like there's like some
really
super
there.
species that like takes precedent over us or something.
Huh?
Like you said earlier that you think that like we're like, you know, more evolved or have more soul or something than a dog, right?
I mean, I'm just like a human, so
there's
I
something, like,
value
above
other
us.
humans more than I value dogs.
Like who sets the standard? Like who sets the mode of perception is what I'm saying. If it's not humans, if there's something beyond it, then does that creature who can perceive it in that way like set the standard for perception of the universe?
If they're like smarter than us,
or like they like exist in like a different, like a higher dimension.
I guess they do. I don't know.
Maybe they do.
Yeah.
Like some sort of godlike figure.
Yeah, we are only 3D creatures.
Right.
There is like, you know, 4D,
but we don't
5D.
know there's like anything like that out there yet.
I think they're actually doing like experiments like that, like right now.
Oh yeah.
In like Switzerland.
Is it with the super collider?
I don't know. Something like that. It's called like CERN.
They're always trying to open up black holes.
Yeah.
We're literally gonna suck us up one day with their dumb experiments.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hey nerd, why don't you go outside and play football? Put the science book down. Stop trying to open up black holes to suck up everything we all love.
Yeah, why don't you just like go start a family and just like hang out with your family?
And we're turning on the super collider. We're gonna send an atom from one side of the planet to the other.
Shut up! Like we don't need we don't need to know everything.
Yeah,
like,
always trying to
can
find.
We just like
always trying to Tony Stark it up.
Can we just like like appreciate like our life like on Earth?
Tony
like, right
Stark
now?
built this in a cave with a box of scraps.
I just love the idea of just like I'm just like totally satisfied and happy with the idea that we just like evolved to be like how we are right now, and we should just like live as like just like be happy and just like be alive and just like reproduce. Like just do our job. Like that's literally like our only like evolutionary job is to like reproduce.
Yeah.
Like like you have
Don't
other
forget
jobs
to reproduce. Yeah.
and stuff. Like other things are important too, but like evolutionarily, like that's your only job, like biologically.
Yeah, like raise your children, give them a better life than you had.
Yeah. I'm
That's
just like
the- that's the
totally like
goal.
satisfied with that, and then I'm just gonna like die and like that's it. Like I'm totally satisfied with that. Like why do people have to?
Because they're
like,
they're nerds. They don't get laid.
Yeah.
They don't get any pussy
It's true.
ever. They just like take comfort in their books, and they're passionate about exploration.
I mean, like I like books and podcasts and stuff.
There's
But,
always gonna
like-
be those fucking people pushing the.
But like
the
why
limit.
do we have to like yeah, I
It's
don't
just in our nature. There's so many different types of people out there, and some people are like more like caretakers and providers, and other people are more like explorers and like people who like aren't tied to like other people.
Mhm.
And they go out there and they do the experiments, and you can't stop that. That's just human progress. So if eventually they open up a black hole, then it's inevitable. Somebody's going to do it somewhere. If it wasn't that person, then someone would do it, at some point in time.
Mhm.
So it's only natural.
True.
We can't fault him too
Yeah,
much. him or her.
everything technically is natural
Right.
because like
It's the way that things were meant to be.
like humans like exploring and all this stuff and like doing crazy things like that is part of nature, like just because like we are doing it and we are nature.
It's true. Yeah, all right. Well, that was a good talk, babe.
Mhm.
I felt like we got some good progress produced on this podcast.
You think so?
Yeah. I'm like,
It's almost like we believe the same thing,
yeah.
but we just call it two different things.
Yeah, I think so. I'll agree with that.
Like,
All right. We're going to go. Bye, guys. Thanks
we're
for
gonna
listening.
watch The Boys.
We're going to watch The Boys.
Season 2.